On this ash countertop build that measures 5 feet by 8 feet, I needed a finish that was durable, waterproof, food safe, and could really take the abuse of a restaurant environment. This is on a open kitchen concept where the food will be prepped right in front of the customer. It's a statement piece, but it also needed all of those elements, and I chose Osmo Top Oil. This is one of my favorite finishes. Here I am just cleaning up the wood after I had sanded through the grits up to 180 grit, and I've blown it off, but I'm taking a tack cloth just to get rid of all the micro dust that's still in the wood grain. I just go around the perimeter multiple times with that tack rag and just make sure that I get every bit of dust or anything that's stuck on the top. The finish is extremely easy to apply. You just literally pour it out, wipe it on, and they recommend working it into the top. And so for this size and the volume that I do, I actually purchased this buffer. It's just a floor buffer, and what I initially do is I just work the oil around so that it's starting to spread. Once I feel like I have it spread well enough, I will turn it on and actually start the powered buffing portion. And you can see that right here. I just go in a pattern that overlaps and around the perimeter, and I do that multiple passes and just really work the finish down into the wood. It's absorbing the oil the entire time, so as you can see here, it's an easy process, but it really works it in. The red abrasive takes off any of the nibs or anything that's in the finish that you feel. Again, I'm just going overlapping strokes and really working the entire top and letting the oil just penetrate into the wood. It really causes the wood grain to pop. The color, it provides a little bit of an amber tint to any wood that's used. This works really well on an ash. Here you see me just taking the excess oil that's in that pad and working the perimeter edges versus just throwing all of that oil away. That's kind of how I do it. Just clean up the pad and then continue to work it around the perimeter. And because that isn't enough oil, especially on the end grain with it soaking up oil, I'll pour a little bit more in a rag and just make sure that it's absorbing the maximum amount of oil. One of my favorite things about this finish is it's wipe on, let it sit for a little bit, and then you wipe it off. So here you can see me just starting with an initial clean rag. I'm removing the excess. The thing about these hard wax oils and similar finishes is if you don't remove the excess, they become tacky when they dry. So it actually is a terrible result. So I really work and spend a lot of time polishing the oil, excess oil off with rags. Again, working the perimeter, same thing. And for my final passes, I'll use a microfiber rag. I've just found that it doesn't leave any dust nibs or anything from the rag behind in the finish, and I just really like the result. And I especially make sure I pay attention to the grain direction. So on these final passes, you're going to go with the grain to make sure that as the oil dries, kind of like brush strokes, that it will stay in the correct orientation to the wood. In the end, I'm super pleased with this finish. It's one of my favorites. It provides a nice warm glow. If you look at the wood and the sheen, it's fairly matte, but I will actually put a second coat and apply it one more time after this is dried for a satin finish. Thanks for watching.